Hey guys, welcome to another chapter of Fire Emblem Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic. Today we're going to be tackling chapter 9, and as promised from the last video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I'm spending my money in this playthrough. So I just bought a Nosferatu tomb, which is going to be useful for Odin and perhaps his child later on. And since I saw that tombs were on sale, just happened to be on sale, I thought why not, you know? I'm gonna be using this tomb like sometime in the future anyways. So yeah. And alright, so the start of this chapter, nothing much to say here really. It's all about, you know, just luring enemies, the first batch of enemies in and just killing them. And in this chapter we're going to get two new units. You can't see all the units right now, but you can see one of them. She's that green character at the bottom right over there, and she's called Nyx. I think her backstory is something like she's 1,000 years old and she lost her way despite being 1,000 years old. I don't care. So yeah, we are gonna be allowing Effie to lead the charge here, and the reason why I didn't make Elise hold hands with her is that I actually want her to get attacked by the enemy. So the lance fighter is only attacking her for 1 damage, and if I have Elise standing next to her, he'll be doing no damage. So he'll be approaching Effie and he'll just stand there and, you know, wait and look at Effie in the eyes. But that's not what I want. I really need the initial attack from Effie on enemy phase so that I can deal with these 5 enemies on my phase, which is easier said than done because I cannot take them out in 1 turn. Like, many of my characters cannot take out enemies from full HP in 1 turn, which is a problem for me, especially not Odin. I have to keep feeding him like these easy kills for now, since he starts out like so far behind. Yep, you can see that Naus is having trouble taking out the spear fighters despite having enough speed to double them. Silas can't do it either, even on the archers. Like, I'm 2 damage short here. Yeah, the only characters that can do it are Sonia with her Dragonstone, and I think Naus can do it against the archers, but he'll be taking like massive damage in return. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this attack with Jacob. Jacob has no chance in hell of being able to take out 1 unit by himself. So he's gonna be applying the Shuriken debuff on one of the Lance Fighters. And all of these Lance Fighters have defense seal. Mildly annoying, but at this stage, not really a factor.
Is there a plan?
Alright, come on Arthur. Okay, he lands his 83% hit, so that's an issue with Arthur, I guess. Like, he starts out with not very high skill base, so especially since he's an X fighter and X's have lower accuracy, you kind of have to make do with these like 80-ish percentage hit rates rather. Alright, just considering my options here. So 20 plus 4 is just enough.
I am fate's accomplice. I'll lend a fell hand.
How did you do that?
Nice level up on Sonia here, although having 9 speed really hurts me. It's gonna hurt me in the future. That's 1 damage short. 16 plus 6 is 22. This is enough. I'm gonna be facing 1% crits here, which, you know, it seems like nothing, right? Like 1 out of 100 times, like, what are the odds? Fate's RNG will make you think otherwise. But I figured, you know, I have 2% crit and 4% crit from Sonia, so if they're gonna crit, I'm gonna crit too, right? Yeah, I'm just assessing the rest of my options here, but it doesn't seem like I have another way out. Neither Effie nor Silas can take out one unit by themselves, so they have to work together to take down one guy. And Downs is the only character here that can take out the archer, so it's only a matter of time. Yep, I have to go for this attack here. I just have to pray that the 1% don't proc.
Oh, that's it?
Alright, all according to Keikaku. Hey, here comes Effie with the javelin to finish the job. So I do want to build up supports with Arthur, but Silas' hit rates are better, and I would rather prefer, you know, not having that spear fighter survive and kill off one of my weaker units in turn.
Yes.
+3 is disappointing, but oh well. And now this little girl is just rubbing her hands in glee at the amount of EXP she's gonna gain from all these injured guys. Okay, so I think Nyx will only respond to Sonya there, which is why I'm going to bring Sonya downwards, since she has no more business upwards for the time being. And I'm not making Effie hold hands with Elise right now. Again, for the same reason that I don't want the enemies to be doing no damage and deciding not to attack me. But it turns out that even after holding hands, she'll be taking 4 damage, 2 times 2. So actually it doesn't matter, right? Because Effie is not gonna die anyhow. And now on my turn, I'm gonna destroy these dudes. Technically, these guys kill me, but I have a 100% hit rate, I should be fine, right? Except, wait, these guys have Vantage. But fortunately for us, Vantage doesn't allow them to be able to deal both their attacks in one turn, I guess. Alright, very good growth from Odin. Basically everything that we need: skill, speed, magic, luck. Alright, hard to turn down, you know, 200% hit rates. We even knocked his helmet off. Okay, so now here you're gonna see a slightly more boring segment of the video, which is that I'm going to be baiting out the staff user. I don't know whether you can see that Shrine Maiden there or to the right side. The reason why you're seeing green squares here is because she has a staff called Enfeeble. What it does is that when it hits you, it reduces all your stats by 4, and you recover, 1 stat per turn. So, in this chapter, they were gracious enough to allow the staff user to reach like 1 square more than the enemy's actual attack range. As you can see here, these green squares on the floor are sticking out. This allows me to effectively just cheese this, right? So I can just keep rotating my characters for like 4 turns and have them get enfeebled before actually going to engage the actual enemies that attack me. But unfortunately, Conquest is not always going to be this gracious. They're not going to always have like staff users just be this way. They are definitely going to, later on they're going to see the staff users be like in the middle of all the attacking enemies, or they just won't use their staves unless you enter attack range, or they might even have a range of 10 and never run out of staff charges. I mean, who would think of something like that, right? Nobody's gonna do that, right, guys? Alright, so I've lost count of how many Enfeeble charges the staff user has used now. Enfeeble comes with 4 users, barring any skills. Alright, she still has Enfeeble charges left, so I'm gonna have to rotate Jacob up. And the reason why I have to rotate characters around is that if you just have the same character sit in Enfeeble range and like just have the Enfeeble user cast like back to back, they won't actually use up the Enfeeble charges. I suppose that's the game's way of saying that you can't like just cheese it with one character. You have to rotate around a few characters if you want to make them waste their charges. So now you see the green squares are gone because I've successfully made the staff user essentially just waste the time. And I'm going to now position Odin in range of the archers that are surrounding the boss. I'm going to have Silas pair up with him for the extra defense that Cavaliers give. Yep, just gonna put Effie, she's gonna make her way up at some point. I'm gonna take that treasure chest over there. More EXP for little girl. Okay, so our other units are just going to be sitting around for a while. I'm not sure whether there's a more efficient way of doing this, but I find these archers really cause me trouble if I try to just, go from the bottom path to try to engage the spear fighters, because then they can just come from the top side and, get free hits in. And here I'm checking like my hit rates, or rather the damage I'm going to take if I'm going to send Effie to the top like right now. I don't know whose genius idea it was to put like a Shining Bow user in the midst of these 3 archers, because magic, Shining Bow is considered magic damage, and since Effie has next to no resistance, she's just going to melt if I send her to the top lane.
I have taught you well.
So yeah, all I can do here is to make Odin take 1 hit a turn and counter attack once a turn on enemy phase. And what's worth noting is that you can also make Mozu do this, right? So after chapter 8, Paralogue 1, I think, opens, and you can recruit a character called Mozu from there. I'm going to be doing the Paralogue after this chapter, so please stay tuned. Anyway, if you recast Mozu to Archer, you can make her stand where I'm making Odin stand. You can pair Silas up to her as well, and she can also get essentially free EXP from... Oh my god, that's really good growth from Odin. Where was I? She can get really good EXP from this chapter just by, you know, killing off these 3 archers. And so will Elise, because she will get free users on the staff. Not really free, but you get what I'm saying here. Okay, halfway through the chapter I realized that I bought the Nosferatu tomb, but I didn't actually give it to Odin.
Everything will be fine.
So actually, with the Nosferatu tomb, what the tomb does is that you heal for half the amount of damage that you deal, but in exchange you cannot double enemies. But I decided not to use the Nosferatu tomb here anyway, since I'm not in danger of dying in any sense. Even if the archer scores like 2 hits on me, you can see I'm still alive. Odin is taking so much damage that, you know, his cape is in tatters now. Yep, just spamming heals for that sweet EXP and that staff level, of course.
I have faith in you.
Alright, so this is the Shining Bow user.
On guard.
Alright, so that's all 3 archers down. Now I can safely proceed up the top lane to open that treasure chest there.
Power overflowing. Be steadfast.
4 damage is nothing.
You must go. This will be enjoyable.
Alright, so you can see the second recruitable character there at the corner. If you saw her, this character in blue. She's called Azura, and her special ability is to dance. Basically, what it does is that it allows a unit that already took their turn,
Sorry to be a bother.
you know, before on the same end player phase to take another turn, and that is a really useful ability. I think that alone makes her one of the top tier characters in my opinion. But the problem is that she's stuck in that right hand corner down there, and there's a samurai that just keeps like wandering around, if you guys notice. And that samurai is, I don't know how his AI is programmed. It's really weird. He's really sensitive to like movements that are near him. So I've tried moving Azura out like a few times before, and 9 out of 10 times that samurai will respawn and like just charge straight towards her. And the game is also, I don't know, is it clever or evil or something, to rob her of a weapon. So she comes with no weapon equipped, she's completely defenseless, and being the songstress class, which is a base class that allows her to sing for allies and, you know, stuff, she has rubbish for defense basically. So she dies really easily, and for that reason I have to pretend that she doesn't exist for a good half of this chapter. I mean, if you guys know any strategies to get her out of that corner safely, like earlier, please let me know. I do want to use her as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to be gathering all my units at the bottom side where I'm going to be advancing. It's my only power advance actually. Okay, I'm going to have Sonia lead the charge. The Nyx pairing is not so much for stats, but rather I'm not really going to be using Nyx much, and I just want the bonuses from guard stance. So Nyx is not, well, she's not the worst character I guess. She's still pretty bad though, because she starts out with 5 skill, and her skill growth is really bad. So if you use her, you'll find that she misses quite a lot. And that I think is going to be a major problem. So I'm not really a fan of her.
Let's leave no survivors.
Okay, she goes down to half health here. So if I didn't kill the archers at the top, you can see how they can basically just wreck me here from above. Right, as usual, giving Odin the easy kills.
Power overflowing. Two.
Again, pretty good growth from him.
The darkness whispers. I am needed.
Here for once, Arthur actually has a 100% hit rate, so it's quite hard to pass on.
Justice reigns.
Justice reigns from So what I'm thinking about here is that I do want Sonia to continue, standing in the front lines because there are more enemies at the back, but I want to try to give EXP to a unit that is not her because I don't think she needs EXP at the moment. She's pretty high level right now. I want to see whether I can give EXP to someone else. Spreading out EXP evenly is, I think, quite important. Especially in Fire Emblem Fates where, you gain like exponentially less and less EXP the higher
Sorry.
the higher the difference between your levels and your enemies' levels are. But I decided that, might as well just take the kill and move on.
Don't give up.
It's too much of a hassle to have anyone else try to take this kill. Alright, just giving Effie some more defense and guard stance there. I could have attacked with Jacob there. Attack the samurai on the opposite side of the wall. I guess that's a missed attack from me.
Everything will be fine.
Alright, Effie's gonna get doubled here because she's holding the javelin. Gives her -5 speed. But she's not gonna be taking any more hits after this, so she's fine. More free kills for Odin.
I'll protect you. This is my chance!
I have taught you well.
Right, so I'm just gonna switch over to my islands now so I don't get double anymore.
Nice work.
Free XP is free, even though I'm just healing for 1 HP.
You're not alone.
Oh my god. So this Lancer actually knocked off the shield from Effie. And now she's just like this awkward looking model that has her left arm just raised in the air, grasping at nothing. Not sure if the developers overlooked that one. Yeah, just look at her. Her left arm just looks weird now.
What a workout.
Just stuck in position, and now it just looks unnatural, being like bent upwards. $20 is not enough, unfortunately. It would be enough if Jacob attacked first, so that's what I'm gonna do.
It's alright. It's not over yet.
Maybe they should have given Effie like a cracked shield or something, just so they don't have to show her arm.
I believe in you. Let me try.
I was gonna do that. You're not alone.
Alright, so despite not using a javelin, she's still gonna get double from the samurai because enemy stats in Lunatic mode are quite high, and she's gonna lose even more of her armor now. Okay, now she just looks even weirder, I mean.
You got this.
My darkness was darker than yours.
My darkness was darker than yours. Right now it looks pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Like, there are only 4 enemies left, including the boss. And if you look at the video length, you'll see that I'm like barely halfway through, and you're wondering like, what am I doing in this chapter? Like,
We have no choice.
why am I spending so much time against like 4 enemies? Are they like super powered or anything? You can see this Hans fighter, Sphere fighter, he's no different from any of the Sphere fighters that we have fought. He doesn't even have defense seal. So where's the extra time coming from? And the answer is that there are actually reinforcements in this chapter, which I am trying quite hard not to proc. I'm trying not to have the reinforcements come out like right now, and let's see whether we can do it. I'm not really sure about like the conditions in which these reinforcements will appear. Even right now, after completing the chapter like multiple times, I'm still not clear on this.
Please. Glory unyielding.
And the level for Odin,
Two.
another great level up. Really can't get used to FE like this. So I'm also still unsure about the AI of that roaming samurai over there. I used to think that he proc the reinforcements when, you know, he finds you. Alright, now I'm finally going to be controlling Azura. Yeah, so since I'm unsure about the conditions for the reinforcements to appear, I am very hesitant to just go up there and finish off that samurai. Most reinforcements in this game are like either position based or turn based, and doesn't seem to be turn based right now, since I've taken quite a few turns in this chapter, I think. Here I'm gonna be using my first dance of the game on Elise. I'm not actually gonna be using Elise for anything. It's just the fact that Azura gains EXP from dancing. So with every turn that I can make her dance, I decided, you know, why not? Alright, here comes the samurai. And I thought that, you know, aggroing the samurai would thus spawn reinforcements, but that didn't happen. So that was slightly confusing. Yep, just a little demonstration of what you can do with Azura's Sing ability here. Basically, I can get Jacob to attack twice in one player phase. And level 5 he learns Live to Serve, which is pretty nice. So, the reinforcements in this chapter, they spawn from the staircases that you can see here. There's one up top, there's one to the right beside Jacob, and then there's one to the opposite side of the wall on the left. So 3 batches, I guess, of reinforcements will spawn from there, from those places. Right, so now I'm moving my units upwards, slowly towards the boss, and now the reinforcements spawn. So I'm thinking maybe it's when you cross like, you know, like a row of squares parallel to the, not parallel, but on the same row as that Shrine Maiden over there that I haven't touched yet. Maybe it's that. I'm not sure. Like, if you guys know better than me, please feel free to leave a comment. I would really like to know what the trigger condition for these reinforcements are. So these reinforcements are also no slouches. I don't know if you guys saw that one of those lancers has the Bolt Naginata, which is a 1 to 2 range weapon, magic weapon at that, so that can cause trouble for me. And there's also a guy with a dual Naginata, and what that weapon does is that it reverses the weapon triangle advantage. So lancers have advantages over swords, but disadvantage over axe. And with the dual Naginata, you will have advantage over axes, but disadvantage over swords. And it's like massive disadvantage because it's double. Just sneaking in some free damage on the archer that cannot attack from one range away. Attacking with the Dragonstone here will be quite a waste. So that's not. I'm not gonna be doing that. The archer is at less than half HP. Anyone can finish him off. Alright, so I decided to do it with Silas here. Probably should have used the sword instead of the lance, but both are 100% hit rate and both are gonna deal enough damage, so doesn't matter too much here. 16 plus 6 is not enough.
Accept my help. I'm here for
I
you.
guess I just have to reluctantly give more kills to Sonya, seeing as nobody can take out the archers in one go. Odin has just enough damage here with the attack stance from Sonya.
Let's go. We're not done yet.
I have taught you well.
Oh,
Alright, Azura's first level up, but her stats don't matter that much really. She's not a combat unit per se, unless you reclass her to a, actually attacking class. So I'm gonna move Effie down, which means that I will not get any counter attack damage from the lancers up above, but I don't know if you guys saw there, the spear fighter with the bolt Naginata was in range if I stood Effie there, and that alone can very easily kill her because it's magic damage. And here we are back to looking at the little skeleton of a knight with a very awkwardly placed hand. Man, all these spear fighters are so tough, actually. Such high defense and resistances.
We can
Well,
do
okay,
this
I mean,
together.
they have 6 resistance, but
It's not over yet.
it's high enough to deny my Odin, enough damage. Alright, so I shouldn't be using the hand axe here. That's a mistake. I don't need to be using the hand axe, but even after misses the 98%, highly unlikely, the Naus will still deal the extra 4 damage. That's just enough to finish off the guy. But now I'm throwing Arthur into a situation where if the enemy attacks him the next turn, he will probably get double.
You may rely on me. You must get.
Okay, just gonna get a free hit from Nyx with the assistance from Jacob, and even in attack stance, Jacob's hidden weapon will still apply the debuff to the enemy, so that's nice. Right, so I'm just going to stand Odin right in front of this spear fighter as opposed to off to the side, because Dark Mages come with a skill called Heartseeker Aura, which states that all enemies within 2 squares get avoid minus 20, which is minus 20% dodge rate. But I'm not sure whether they nerfed the skill like last minute or they just had the tooltip wrong, because Heartseeker Aura only works on enemies that are 1 square away, if they did nerf it, I'm not quite sure why you would nerf something like that. Doesn't seem like, you know, something all that game breaking. And here I realized that I'm 1 damage away. But not if I make Arthur assist me instead of Jacob. And Arthur has a 75% chance. 3 out of 4 times you hit. Sounds good, right?
For justice!
Right?
Need a hand? I won't
Alright,
fail again.
he pulled through. Good job, Arthur.
I'll protect you.
Well, that was easy.
God, that looks so weird.
Thank you.
Right, so this is the guy with the dual Naginata, but since both Effie and this guy are using Lancers,
Let's go.
the dual Naginata doesn't actually have any difference from just using a normal Lance.
Need a hand?
And there I just missed a 90%. So that's why I'm like so afraid of hit percentages in this game. Literally anything can happen. But fortunately for us, it doesn't affect the outcome here. We are still gonna kill those 2 guys easily. But sometimes, you know, shit happens that just makes me salty as hell.
We made it!
Alright, so swords naturally have disadvantage against lancers, but since that's the dual Naginata,
Yes.
I actually have like 100% hit rate despite using a sword. So I'm thinking of giving an EXP to Arthur here. He's very close to leveling, to level 10. Unfortunately, the level 10 skill for fighters is pretty bad for Arthur at this stage of the game. But spreading out my EXP is still pretty important, I think.
I'll protect you.
Alright, so engaging in the hand axe here is also a mistake. I'm not quite sure what my obsession with hand axes are, but yeah, even if he doubles, he can't kill me unless he procs a 2% crit, which I can't say won't happen. So
Nice work.
that's actually quite a big mistake from me, really. The iron axe even has a better accuracy than the hand axe there, so there's like completely no reason to use it. I'm not going to be attacking the Shrine Maiden this turn because both Arthur and Effie are very close to leveling. Kind of want them to, you know, just get over that little hump. Alright, so finally now switches the chest on the right side. I have OCD like that. I like to open every treasure chest on the map that I can possibly get to.
Be careful.
Even though like that chest gave me like a bronze lance, which is not worth very much.
Thank you, sidekick.
Okay, so since these two characters were in attack stance, they will both gain EXP. Arthur got enough EXP to level. Unfortunately, FP is at 96. But yeah guys, we are finally approaching the end of this chapter. Only the boss is left.
Thank you, sidekick.
Alright, little girl handing out candy as always. Yup, just checking my hit rates on the boss. The reason why I have such bad hit rates on him is because he's standing on a throne tile, which gives them 30% dodge rate, I think, if I remember correctly. And all bosses in Conquest are going to be sitting on throne tiles, which is pretty annoying. This makes my life like much harder. Sometimes I even had to reset because of, you know, the added 30% dodge rate. So Effie is gonna have an even worse time there with 53% at, hit chance, but she's gonna take less damage because of a higher defense. And now, only now I noticed that there's a dragon vein on the top right side of the map, over there in yellow.
Bad, I guess.
I forgotten what it does. I don't think I even needed it, so oh well. Alright, so tombs have disadvantage against lancers in the weapons triangle. And even with the Heartseeker aura that Odin has, he's still only going to achieve 60% hit rate as well. So without the Heartseeker, he would only have a 40% hit rate, which is terrible. Yep, I'm just going to put Sonya there. Hopefully land at 60% to make my life easier on the following turn. And it hits for 16 damage, which is half its health basically. Just looking at all my options here. Everybody is going to take way more damage than they are dealing. Including Jacob. Alright, so even with the weapons advantage of bows, I still only can achieve a 63% hit rate, which is still pretty bad since he can counter attack for at 66% hit rate. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to position Nyx just right there in front of the boss. I can't make Nyx actually attack the boss because I think she'll just die. Another option of making this attack is that I can actually use Now's personal skill. It's the ability to capture enemies, and certain enemies can be captured and added to your army. This guy, his name is Haitaka. He's one of the enemies that can be captured, and I guess he's mildly useful since he comes with the rally defense skill, which he's not using here because fortunately for us, rallies don't apply to the user, only applies to the allies around him. And yeah, so capturing him is an option. Rally defense is pretty useful, but you have to consider that it also takes up a slot in your army. So you have to decide whether it's worth giving up a slot for a unit that you actually want to train over this guy who is going to just be a rally defense bot. I mean, sure, you can feed him levels and he can gain stats and level up and become as strong as to deal with enemies, but I don't think he can reclass for one thing, and also he cannot gain support with anyone. So it's gonna be kind of awkward to use him over in the long term. And now he's down finally, with Effie dealing the final blow. And I'm just kind of trying to heal everything that I can, just to give Elise as much EXP as I can. I do want to promote her as quickly as I can as well, since promoting her will allow her to actually be able to attack while also holding on to her staff rank, which is going to be really useful for me. Sorry about that. Right, another level for Azura. Another heal for Elise. So technically, I can just keep skipping turns and making Azura dance to gain enough EXP to hit level 10. That's when she learns her second skill. But I figured that this chapter has gone on for enough already, and I don't think you guys really want to see that. I could put that in fast forward later on when I'm editing the video, but I decided not to go for it. Alright, finally we are done. So this is the longest chapter so far. If you guys stuck with it and watched till the end, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, so in the next chapter, we are going to be tackling Paralogue 1, which is going to be the paralogue where we recruit this character called Mozu. Pretty controversial character. I'm going to be talking a lot about her. So yeah, please stay tuned. If you guys have any feedback or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Other than that, yeah, see you in the next video.